Now, the first secret spot on her body that drives her wild on my list today is her lower abdomen. Now, my kings, you see that little space between her stomach and her waist? It is a very sensitive spot, and a lot of kings miss it. And the reason why you miss it is you just feel like it's the other obvious parts of the body that are known to be, erogenous that you should focus on. But trust me, this is a hidden gem. In fact, believe me when I say that it is not just her lower abdomen, her entire stomach can be a spot that drives her wild depending on how you do what you do. So it can be you running your fingers through that line, that little line between her waist. Let's just call it her waistline, but in front, if that makes sense. Or placing your lips over there, or using your tongue. It can also be you using your tongue on the line that kind of divides her stomach into two parts. Does that make sense? That line. That's it. You can go from kissing her to her neck and then that line, then down to the lower abdomen. Now this is going to drive any woman wild. And like I said, it's a secret spot and a lot of you kings miss it. And remember, it is not just always about knowing the sports. It is also about the energy that you bring. It is also about how you do what you do. So make sure that you're very firm, not rough, and not too soft. Because if you're too soft, it is going to be ticklish. It is not going to be arousing. And if you're overly rough, of course, that would not be enjoyable for anybody. So yes, my kings, her lower abdomen is a secret spot that drives her wild. Another secret spot on her body that drives her wild is the inside of her wrist. Now, my kings, in fact, at this point, it is safe to say that wherever you see a joint in a woman's body, it's an erogenous spot. I don't know. So you just, rubbing her inner wrist gently or placing a very soft kiss there or maybe using your tongue around it can drive a woman wild. And like I said, it is safe to say that anywhere there is a joint on a woman's body is a spot that can drive her wild depending on how you do what you do. So you see the inner elbow, the inside of her knee joint, her ankle joint. Like I said, every joint at this point can be said to be a very sensitive part of a woman's body. So pay attention to them. If you've not already started exploring them, if you didn't know about this, start exploring. In fact, I would like you to try and come back so that you can drop a comment to let me know how it went. So yes, my kings, the inside of her wrist is another spot on her body that drives her wild. Just know how to do what you do, and believe me, you can drive any woman wild with that. Another secret spot on her body that drives her wild is the outer thighs. Now, my kings, we are always talking about the inner thighs, but we don't talk about the outer thighs enough. You see that little space between her thighs and her knees and her legs? That is your place. Play around it with your fingers, with your lips, with your mouth. Do whatever works for you, but make sure you try it. This is something you can even do when you're outside, and that's what makes it very convenient because it is not like a very covered part of the body that you would have to maybe struggle to reach. So you see how I tell you that foreplay can actually start before you go into the other room? That is it. You can use this to start your foreplay in a public space way before you even get home or get to anywhere you want to do your thing. So yes, the outer thighs, that plays, and it just gives you the opportunity to be able to play around the inside of her knees. I told you that anywhere you see a joint at this point, it's a spot. So from the outer thighs to the inside of her knees, gives you that time, gives you that advantage to know, do your thing around there and make her feel a lot of things. That would definitely drive her wild. So yes, my kings, if you've not tried it, it is something you should be trying. Another secret spot on her body that drives her wild is the collarbone. Now, my kings, this one is something you would not, think about. It is something you would not imagine would actually do anything to a woman. But believe me, you see that collarbone? Rubbing it gently or placing soft kisses around there can drive a woman crazy. So yes, it is an unexpected spot, a place you would never even imagine could do anything to a woman, but it works wonders. And here's the thing, it is not only men who don't know this. A lot of women don't know it as well. So imagine being the first one to give a woman that experience, where she gets to realize that, okay, so there is something like this and I've been missing out. That would actually be a wonderful experience for both you and your woman. So yes, my kings, rub that collarbone, place kisses there, use your tongue if you want to, but just make sure you start considering the collarbone because it works wonders. Now, the last secret spot on her body that drives her wild is her back. Now, my kings, the entirety of a woman's back is your place to go. You see, we talk about the lower back, the upper back, but we never talk about the mid of the back. And that is why I'm telling you, her entire back is your place to be. You can take it from the upper side. You can even take it from the collarbone. We've spoken about this. You go from her lips to her neck. We already know that that's wonders. Place those kisses there and then get to the collarbone. Gradually start with her upper back. Rub the space between her neck, her hair, and her back. And then gently move your finger or your tongue between that line, the spinal cord line. Crazy. And then run it through her waistline. You can also bring it back on the sides of the back. Believe me, it works wonders. Like I mentioned, this is something I want a lot of kings who haven't tried to try, because I want you coming back bringing me comments that confirms that I'm not just saying these things, because I know what I am saying. Yes, the entirety of her back is a secret spot. It is not talked about much, and not even every woman knows what that can do to her or what that can do to them. So when you get it right, it is guaranteed to drive any woman crazy. So that's it for this video, my kings. These are 5 secret spots in a woman's body that drives her wild. And like I already mentioned, if you've not tried this, and if you didn't know any of this, please let me know in the comments, because I really want to see how new this is to all of you, my kings. Please do let me know if you found this video interesting and informative as well. Do watch, subscribe if you haven't done that already. Turn on the notification bell, like this video, drop a comment down below, share this video with your family and friends, and see you in the next one. Bye.